So I'll always pinpoint moments just because it's the thing in people that causes issues in dogs. Like, why do you want to control what people do and think? Well, I think it's flawed, but more than that, I'm out for these guys. That's all I do is I'm narrating their experience so we can get more in tune with them and help them, because a lot of dogs are living pretty miserable, frustrated existences because no one's taking the time to see in themselves as a human what kind of flawed thinkings, interpretations, communications are causing issues for these guys. I love them so much. So an example, right? So again, I'll just give my own human examples. I am shopping for homeowners insurance, and I got one original quote, but I wanted to get a second one before I sign off on, this is going to be the company I work with. And I was calling an agent that was kind of, just common sense, call someone that's close to where the property you're buying is. And, and I explained my situation. I'm sorry for kind of, there's a little pressure involved. We're going to close next week, but I just want to have another insurance quote based on full disclosure. I had one other company, but I want to see what other option I have. Okay, fine. I've done this before. I have bought and sold homeowners insurance, car insurance, life insurance. They'll either have you fill out something online, and in most cases, especially for a quote for homeowners, they just go over it on the phone. Sorry, Minnie. They go over it with you on the phone. So they'll just ask you questions like, what's the address? What's your name? What's your date of birth? What's the house? What is you're going to live there? Is it going to be rental? Is it going to be, things like that. And then they get your quote, and then you go into more details, and you go through the policy. They get pictures. They'll get you signing things. They'll get you more details about your life, your social security number, all that. But initially, you get a quote. It's a few bits of information on the phone, mainly the address and your intentions of how you're going to live there as an owner or someone who rents it out. Or there's other people on the application with you, little things like that. So this person, they wanted to send me something to print out, to fill out, and then scan and send back. And I says, all I want is a quote, and I'm in the middle of moving. I don't have access to a printer right now. Well, that's just the way we do it. And this is where the issue is, because everyone has their own way. That's fair. I says, listen, I've bought and sold houses before, and I've never had that. It's always been people just asking me a few questions or filling out something online, and then they get me a quote. Then we get into more of the signing and all that extra time consumption. And again, the normal way that I feel a human should kind of take a step back and say, well, maybe this guy has a point. Like, the way I do it is my way, but that's not the normal way people do it. So maybe when he's bringing it up, I shouldn't try to, here we go, the gaslighting. They try to make it like I'm not telling them the reality of that. Most people don't do it like you, and you're an outlier, and then that inability to adjust. So here's what happened. They lost a customer. I called another agent 20 minutes away. I explained the situation. She says, Brett, I wouldn't have had you fill out a form anyway. I'll just take some info on the phone and I'll get back to you, because I know you're in the middle of moving and you probably don't have access and you are going under enough stress anyway. That's the key, the empathetic element that people just they can't get out of themselves. They can't get out of themselves to say, hey, wait. This guy, and again, get out of yourself, because you're going to make money off me. So everybody wins. It's not like you're being like the Dalai Lama here and you're doing stuff for the goodness of your heart. You're going to make money, but be smart about it, right? So anyway, this person who had some empathy, had the ability to hear me instead of react to me, is getting my business. That's how it goes, and that's what's with dogs. We just react. We go by what we think it should be, what we wish should be, how our last dog was, how I feel it should be. This is how I train dogs. I don't believe in crates. I do believe in this. I use this collar. I don't use this collar. It's all human delusion. It's all ego. It's all narcissism. And when you try to point it out, it's the more evolved, the more aware thinkers that can actually take a step back. Because if you don't, I do it. But being aware of it and saying, ha, 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 laughing at yourself, saying, this is silly thinking. This is my own interpretation. What's coming on from the other party? Where are they seeing reality more than I am? Well, let's enter their world. Or again, maybe even if I don't agree, I want to make money, so let me accommodate this person. But some people just can't do it. That's the issue, and that's why people are limited with how they can even interpret in an empathetic way what these guys, they need, not what we assume and feel like it should be. Subscribe and go to my website, dogtrainingla.com, if you'd like online or in-person dog training, coaching, and problem behavior solutions.